everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I'm so happy to have you here today. In today's video, I want to teach you how to work with a couple of things. We're first going to learn how to work with some doodle fonts, or these are PNG fonts. They're really fun, and I'm going to show you how to work with those to create your own words and phrases and upload those into Design Space, of course. But I'm also going to teach you how to make them an easy peel sticker, meaning that instead of having to go around this far edge to peel off your sticker, you have a little edge where it makes it so much easier to access the edge of your sticker to peel it away. These are great, especially if you are a sticker seller, because sometimes sticker paper can be a little difficult to separate. In today's video, we are going to be using Neato Labels, and we're going to be using their super glossy. And I know a lot of people have problems with glossy sticker paper and their Cricuts reading them, but this one works great for me. I really love it. And there's always a coupon code that you can use, which is Corinne25, Corinne25, and that'll save you 25% off your order. I'm going to link them down below so you can grab your sticker paper. I've used all their different products and have been very happy with all of them. So it's one that I highly recommend if you're looking at getting a good sticker paper. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started, but don't forget to subscribe here. That way you don't miss out on any of the fun, crafty content we have coming. For our Kiss Cut stickers, I wanted to do something fun with a really cool little doodle letter set here. So what these are they are PNG images of these letters, and you piece them together to make your word or design. So we need to download them. So I'm going to click download now, and it's going to open up my folder, ask me where I want to save it. I'm going to save it into this folder, and then you need to open up the folder once it downloads, because you need to extract it or unzip it, because they come as a compressed folder to help you keep like less space on their website and stuff. It makes it download easier and faster. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and we're going to just click extract all and then simply click extract. It's very easy to do. Once it's done that, we can access the images. So I'm going to go ahead and close the other folder really quick. And if you click on this, you'll see they've got it pretty well organized. So this is your PNG letters. Now, for whatever reason, we have two N's because it goes to N here, but then the next folder has N in it. It's fine. Whoever designed it just made a little mistake. It's okay. So we're going to go ahead over to Design Space because I'm going to spell my name with these. So let's head over there. I'm going to show you how to upload these into Design Space and how to work with them. And now over in Design Space, you just simply upload them like you would any other PNG. So I'm going to click upload image, and then I'm going to drag and drop the letters that I need. Keeping in mind, you can only drop one letter at a time. So I'm just going to start with the C for my name. And one thing I'm going to point out to you, I'm going to click continue, is that you see that this does not have a background, which is exactly what we want. We've got the background in the middle here, but we have no background on this image, which is exactly what we want it to do. So we're going to click apply and continue. And you want to save it here as a flat graphic because we're going to be using this for print and cut. I'm going to go ahead and just simply click upload, and I'm going to upload the rest of my letters for my name exactly the same way, and then we'll resize everything. I'm going to show you how to make these into really fun stickers. Now that I have all my letters in place, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually select everybody, and I'm going to align them and center them just so I can resize them down just a little bit easier, and we'll size them a little bit more as we continue to work with them. But I'm going to go ahead and get my name spelled out. And I do have to duplicate a letter because I do have a double N, but I'm just going to kind of lay these out really quick, and I will kind of play with them here in just a second. But I do need, like I said, to duplicate the N. Need another one of those, and then we have the E. Now you kind of get the gist of what this is going to look like, but what I would recommend you do, kind of play around with your spacing, play around with like what sits on top of each other. I'm going to size this down just a little bit more, just so I have a little more space to play with. But I'm going to be okay with them kind of overlapping a little bit. I think I want the R to go like right, maybe like here. And then I'm going to kind of scooch some letters around a bit. I think I'm going to put the I behind the R. And to do that, all I want to do is I'm going to right click, and I'm just going to send this backwards until I'm happy with like where it's sitting. Now this thing is now behind our R, so you can't really tell because of the black lines. If I was going to overlap them a little bit more, it would be more obvious. You can see here where like the black goes over it. I just don't know if I want to quite do that. I'm not sure, but you do whatever you want. You do what makes you happy and the way you want it to be. And actually, I kind of don't mind that. I'm going to go ahead and bring the C to the very front. I think I'm going to put the R. I'm going to send that one backwards. And then I'm going to do this. Actually, I kind of like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stack them so that each letter goes behind the next one. So what you can do is you can actually just drag them like here down to your like layers, if that makes sense, in your layers panel. And then you can kind of like layer them that way, which is kind of easy. So I'm going to get that N, and then I'm just going to have them like stack a little bit, although I don't know that I like the ends like that. And I don't want them fully even either. I don't want them to be like perfectly even at the top or the bottom. I want them to be a little bit off. So I'm just going to kind of scooch some things around a little bit and like play with the sizing maybe. No, maybe not the sizing, but I'm going to play with like the like look of it. Okay, I think that's fun. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You do what you want to do, but this is how I'm going to do mine. So I think it looks okay, except I think the C looks a little small. So I'm going to make the C a little bit bigger just because that is like a little off to me. But there we go. I think that looks really good. I think that's fine. So the first thing that I'm going to do before I do anything else is I'm going to select everything on my screen and I'm going to choose the flatten option, and that's going to tell Design Space that this is all one piece, not to cut each piece individually, because we're going to be doing this as a sticker. Now, I want to add an offset to this because we have all these little lines here and they're going to try to cut those out individually, and I don't want that to happen. But to make it easier to show you what I mean, I'm going to change the color on this, and anywhere you see purple, it's going to cut out and around. So you can see I'd have all these little like black lines, and we don't want that. So I'm going to use the offset option, not create sticker. Don't use create sticker. It causes more problems than it fixes, so just don't use it. But what we're going to use is offset to create this offset on our sticker so that it won't cut around each of our individual pieces. Now, offset sometimes takes a second, especially if you've got a lot of information here, which we do. Now, this offset might be a little bit wiggly just because we do have some wiggly spots due to like the lines. Now, I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger. I think I might go like 0.28 and just see if that's going to give me a little more space. I want this part to touch over here, and we'll fill in the holes in between the letters, but I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to click apply. Now it's black. I'm going to go ahead and change it to white. Now we need to contour out these little holes in our letter, but you'll notice that I can't contour. It's because it's set to print and cut. So change your offset to a basic cut. It's going to change the color. Don't worry, we'll change it back. But then we're going to go to contour to remove any of these holes, which you can easily do by just clicking hide all contours and then closing out. And you'll note that the holes are all filled in. Then I'm going to go ahead and change this back to white. You can make it any color that you want to. It's really up to you how you want to do it, but you do you. Now that we've got this design, what we want to do is add some more offsets so that we can do the easy peel edge and have the center be the kiss cut sticker. Now, what I want to do with this is I'm going to select my design and I'm going to add an offset. Now, your offset for this section does not need to be as large as the offset you made to go around your sticker. You can make it a bit smaller or bigger. Whatever you want to do is fine. I don't like to have a huge offset here just because I find that it makes it a little bit easier if I make it a little smaller. Plus, then it doesn't take up as much of your material. Now, what I'm going to do is click apply for this offset. And I want to go up to the top and change this from print to cut to a basic cut image. Then I want to change the color to white. Cricut Design Space does not allow you to do more than one cut setting per mat. And since these are all going to be cut on one mat, we need to actually take this offset and we want to duplicate it because we want it to cut around the offset, the outside offset multiple times so that it'll cut through the sticker paper, and we only want it to cut around the inside offset once so that it'll give us the kiss cut. So I'm going to duplicate this, and I typically go a little bit ham on these. I tend to put a few more than I think I really need just so I make sure that it in fact does cut through, because we need to use a pretty light setting for the first set. So I usually go anywhere from like 7 to 10. It just kind of depends. So this one I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got 10. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and select everything on my screen. I'm going to align them and center them. And then I'm going to go ahead and hide the flatten section really quick, just so that I can take all of this design here. I'm going to make it white, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach it. Then I'm going to go ahead and unhide the flatten section and drag it above the attach section here. Now it's going to look like it doesn't have anything there, and I can change these to another color just so you can see them again. But you can see here that we have the sticker, and it's going to cut around our white, and then it's going to cut multiple times around the green. Now you can change the color to whatever you want it to be, but I prefer to keep it white. And then what you want to do is select these two pieces, your flatten and your attach, and you want to attach them again. Now this tells Design Space that I want it to hold everything in place, but I want it to cut around our flatten section, and I want it to cut around our attach section, but I don't want the attach section to be print and cut. Now we do need to size these down some just so that they'll fit onto our printable page. And I'm going to use my printable template here so that I can fit a few of them onto my screen. So I'm going to go ahead and size these down. Now if I want them to be like wider, I can just turn it 90 degrees and then I can make it a lot taller and longer if I want to by using it in this direction. But you do whatever you want to do with it. It's up to you. I think that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. I'm going to make another one. I'm just going to do a couple of these, make a slightly smaller one, and then I'll duplicate that one. And I'm just going to fit a few of these onto my page. That way they, look good. They're good to go. I can actually make this one a little bit smaller. And these are great for like labels for school supplies, or if you want to like make some cute things for maybe a Stanley cup or whatever have you that, a kid could put these stickers on. There's a lot of fun ways to use these. So have fun with them, make them however you want, design them, have a good time. I mean, truly, there's no wrong way to make these. You just make whatever makes you happy. All right, that's good enough for this tutorial. So I'm going to hide this letter size right here, which is our template. And then I'm going to select this entire thing, and I'm just going to attach everything so that it all holds in place. Because attach is telling Design Space not to move this so that when I go to print and cut it, it will keep as many as I can fit onto the screen. Then I'm going to go ahead and save my design. I have already saved it, but I'm just going to make sure to save it so that nothing gets messed up in it. And then I'm going to click Make so that we can make it as soon as this saves. Once it's onto this page, you're going to see a few things. So I just want to point this out. One, you're going to see this big black box around it. It won't print that. It'll only print little corners. You'll also see a black outline around your design, and it also will not be printing that black outline. That's just to show you where it's going to cut. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and click Continue, and this is going to allow us to send it to the printer. From here, we want to send it to our printer, so I'm going to click Send to Printer. Now, for this, it doesn't really matter if I leave the bleed on because the edge is white, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to leave it on anyways, but when bleed is on, it just pushes color out to the edge of your sticker, and since the edge of our sticker is white, there's no color to push out. Then I'm going to use my system dialog, which is going to allow me to choose some settings on my printer. Then I'm simply going to click Print, and it's going to bring up my printer preferences. In your printer preferences, make sure you have the correct printer selected, and you're going to click on the word Preferences. Then you're going to make sure, again, you have your correct document size selected for whatever type of printable you're using. And I changed my paper type. I find that the premium presentation paper matte works pretty good, but I'm going to be using some Neato sticker paper, so I do tend to like the premium photo paper semi-gloss. I think I get a really nice image with that. Then I'm going to make sure that color is selected, and I want to change my quality from standard to high. And I have one more setting under more options. I want to turn off high speed print. That helps prevent any of the lines that you see sometimes when you print from happening. It just allows the printer to take its time and print out a really nice project. So then all I have to do is click OK and click Print to send it to my printer. Now, especially when doing a kiss cut, a test cut is so important. So you can do it one of a couple ways, but I'm going to show you how I do it so that I can make sure that the easy peel part actually works as well. So I'm going to open up a shape. You can use any shape you want, but I do prefer to use a star for this. I just find that using the sharp edges helps. Then I want to add an offset to this star. So it's going to be made just like we made the sticker, but we're not going to actually print anything. So I just want to add an offset to the star. Again, you can make it smaller if you want to. Do what you want to do, but I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Then I'm going to click Apply. Now, I want to take this star and I want to use this offset and I'm going to duplicate it. And remember, I'm going to duplicate it as many times as I did on the previous one. So which means we're going to have 9 stars. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm going to select all of my stars. I'm going to align them and center them. And then I'm going to pull the star, original gray star, up to the top. And I'll just change the color on that little gray star so you can see it a little bit better. Now, again, with Design Space, it does not understand that we want to do multiple types of cuts on one. So we're going to do it all on this just single mat, which is why we have the multiple offsets. It's going to cut this green star once, and then it'll cut around the outside black 10 times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach these, and they're probably all going to turn black, and I'll just change the color again so you can see better. So what you'll see here, this is the inside cut, which it'll cut once, and then it'll cut this outside cut multiple times. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. I don't want to go too small on this just because I am using some sticker paper. But what we'll do is we're going to click on Make. It's going to ask us to save it. We don't need to save this project at all. Now, before we get into our test cut, I do want to change my material size, and I'm going to change it to 8.5 by 11 because I want to move my little star down to the bottom. That way I can see it a little bit easier when it's cutting or like when it's done. So now I'm going to click continue and I need to connect to the machine that I'm using. I'm going to be using my Cricut Maker, but you use whatever machine you have. This is just to kind of guide you in finding the best setting. So I'm going to select my Maker and it's going to connect and bring up my different cut setting options. Now, when I'm cutting stickers, I tend to start with the light cardstock setting. I find that's a good kind of medium place to start to see if I need to go up or down with my pressure. So I'm going to select light cardstock and cut out our first star. I'm going to be using this Neato sticker paper, and this one is their super glossy. Now, I have a sheet that I messed up when I was doing something else, so this is a great sheet to use for test cutting. I'm going to test cut down here where we have the more like nice piece of the paper. So I'm going to go ahead and place this on to my mat. I am going to use my brayer on this because I do want to make sure that this is going to hold down really well. That's one thing I've noticed with this particular brand is that you want to make sure it's held down really well. So I just use a brayer. Now I have moved the part that we're going to be cutting so that it's going to be down here in this lower corner. I'm going to load this into my machine and it's going to cut out our star. I've set it up exactly how I set up the one that we printed, but for this we didn't have to print anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it cut. It's going to cut the middle star and then it's going to cut around all the offsets. Now I'm going to move you guys down a little bit so that you can see where the star cut. Now our main goal is that we want to make sure that this center star doesn't cut all the way through the material, but we want this outside star, just this section here, to cut through the material. So the first thing I'm going to do is peel back my material, and I see that the outside star cut really nice, but the problem is that it did cut through the inside star. So that is not the setting we need to use. What we need to do is find a cut setting that has less pressure. So what I'm going to do is go over to my machine and look at my material settings and show you guys how you can find ones with less pressure. Okay, so we know light cardstock cut way too heavy. So I'm going to show you how to find a setting that has less pressure. What I want you to do is click where it says the Browse All Materials right here. And then I want you to go down here at the very bottom. It says Material Settings and click that. It's a little hard to see. Now what I want to do is I'm going to scroll down. These are all alphabetical. And I want to scroll down to light cardstock. I went too far. I want to find where light cardstock is. So light cardstock's right here and it's set to 238. Now it cut really well cutting through, but it definitely cut way too heavy. So what I want to do is find something that's maybe a little bit lighter than that. I almost want to try something in like the 110 range. So what I'm going to do is scroll a little bit. Now I see iron on, which would be kind of an odd setting to choose for sticker paper, but I like the pressure setting at 118. So let's try iron on and see how it does. I'm going to scroll up to the top and I'm going to close this, and then I want to go to Browse All Material again, and I want to select the iron on setting. So I'm going to search for iron here at the top, And I'm just gonna find the iron-on setting right here and click done. Now, you're gonna see that it automatically turns on our mirror setting, so we can turn that off, but we also need to move our star over. So I'm gonna click edit, and I just wanna scooch the star over a bit so that we can cut it and be able to see if it works. Then all I have to do is click done, and we're gonna go over to the machine and get this cut out and see how it goes. We're gonna be doing our second test cut. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I accidentally did not film it. So you're gonna see an extra star down here at the bottom. It's just because I forgot to film, it's no big deal. But I wanted to make sure you guys got to see this cut with the iron-on setting. Now that it's done cutting this out, I'm gonna go ahead and unload it and show you what it looks like. So remember, we're gonna peel off the big piece here, and it cut through the back part beautifully. But now we wanna make sure that it didn't cut through the smaller star, so that middle star. And it definitely did not. It's all in one piece. And if I can get it to peel off, which is not always super easy, I can get that extra peely side off of this. So now we do have the easy peel sticker, and it cut beautifully on the iron-on setting. So I'm gonna get our other stickers ready and get them loaded and show you how those cut. We're ready to load in our next set of the stickers. So I want you to note where the arrow is, because that arrow is gonna go in the machine at the top. And I'm gonna load these in, again, cutting these on the iron-on setting. Once it's done cutting, we can go ahead and unload this, and I'm going to show you how to unload this from your mat so that you don't ruin anything. Now, once you have this out of the machine, you want to make sure that you unload this from the mat so that you don't bend your new stickers. So what I like to do is I flip it over so that the mat is upside down. And then I roll the mat backwards, and you'll see I'm not folding it. It's just a really light roll. Now, sometimes this backing will want to come off first, and that's okay. And then I'm just going to gently kind of hold the sticker down and peel it off with my hand. And then I'm going to do the rest of them the same way, but this is our biggest sticker. I wanted to make a big one so that we could really see it well. And then I'm just going to come through and just do the other ones same way. And if they're not falling off, you can kind of give them a little hand by just taking your fingers and sticking them down, and then you can push it down with your hand. So I'm going to do that for all of these little stickers that we made. Like I said, you don't want to fold it back. You don't want it to like fold flat. You want to just kind of roll it. And then you just kind of get your finger under here. And if it's not peeling off, grab a pin pen, grab the little spatula. If you don't have nails, but you want to just get your nail under there and get it peeled off. And that should be all of our stickers. So I'm going to go ahead and set these over to the side. And then this part I don't really care too much about, but I do have some decent space on this one, so I may save it to use as test cuts. I'm going to put my mat away, and then I'm going to show you what I mean when I tell you these are easy peel. Now that we've all our really cute stickers cut out, I want to show you what I mean by easy peel. So because these are die cut stickers, they are going to give you a little bit more trouble trying to peel your sticker away from the edge. I know I always have trouble. So in order to make them an easy peel, I made that little outside edge that it didn't cut. And I'm going to use my pin pen, which has a little gunk on it. Let me peel that off. I'm going to use my pin pen, and I'm just going to pull off this little edge. Now, sometimes it can be a little difficult even to get the little edge to go, but once I've got that, I'm just going to peel this off. Sorry, it takes a second. And now what we have is an easy to grab edge to grab our sticker from. And I'm going to give you guys a much closer view of this so you can see what I'm talking about. But now when I go to peel my sticker, I have an edge to grab, and then I can peel my sticker back. So much easier. So I'm going to pull all of them off of each of our little stickers. And like I said, sometimes, especially this glossy, it's a little hard to grab because it is slippery. But once you get it going, you can peel it off. Now, I did rip that one, but that's okay because it'll still come off just fine. So let me get that off, and I'm going to give you guys an up-close view of what these look like. These easy peel stickers were really fun to make, and I'm going to show you up close. You can kind of see where the color is a little bit different around the edge, and that's where your easy peel part comes in. These stickers are great, especially if you're somebody who is selling them, because that easy peel really makes it easier for your customer, but it also just looks really nice and professional, and it's easy to do. Now you will notice that my edges are not completely straight, and it's because of those little jagged designs on the edges of the letters. Now I hope you picked up some tips and tricks to working with these PNG fonts, working with offsets, working with the different material settings on your Cricut, because there's so much that you can do with your Cricut by being able to find the right cut settings. Having test cuts is a definite must when you're cutting any kind of material, so be sure to not skip that step. Now, if you have any questions about this or anything else that we do here on the channel, please let me know in the comments down below. And as always, happy crafting!